The world of AI, it's exploded this year, specifically generative AI tools that help you generate text, images, artwork, and more by just giving a prompt to the language processor to come up with a result for you. Now, of course, for a lot of them, it's not anywhere close to perfect, but it can generate some cool stuff. And one of the new tools on the block is Adobe Firefly. So without further ado, let's jump right into the tool and explore what it has to offer. Alright, to use Adobe Firefly, just head on over to firefly.adobe.com. You'll be brought to their main homepage here where you can go ahead and now sign in. Now, it was in private beta for some time, but now they've opened it up to the public, so you can simply go ahead and click sign in, enter your account, and start using Firefly right away. I've already logged in over here, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the tools that we have. Now, at the time of filming this video, they still have a bunch of stuff being worked on, and they're planning to add things such as extending images, so you can go ahead and give it a small image and it will generate the rest of that image. But the ones that I want to talk about today are the top three over here. First, we're going to explore text to image. So this is where you can generate images from a detailed text description. So you write a text description as detailed as you can, of course, and it will go ahead and generate an image. And some of the images are pretty realistic, other ones not so much, but you have access to controlling a lot of those options, and I'll show you that in just a second. Then we have Generative Fill, which will use a brush to remove objects or paint new ones from text description. So you can go ahead and tweak objects in an image, and we'll see how that works in just a second as well. And lastly, one of the interesting ones is you can actually create text effects. You can apply certain styles or textures to text, such as the one that we can see over here, and can't wait to get into that one and show you some cool stuff around it. Let's go through them in order, starting with text to image. Now over here, as soon as you click, you can go ahead and browse some other ones that people have created, and you can see the prompts that people have put in by just hovering over it. Once I hover over a specific one, I can see to generate this one, someone wrote, "Someone trying to explain how a computer works, empty apartment, dusk, run through windows, God rays and a knocked over plant on the desk, untidy, mystery." As you can see, it did a pretty good job, although not everything's exactly how it was described. It doesn't work perfectly, but they can do a pretty good job. Some of them are really interesting. Just to give you an example now, let's go ahead and click on the text box here and write what we want. I can do something like, I don't know, dog flying in space, riding a convertible car with a view of the earth. I simply wrote an imagined scene with some characters in there and some objects, and we can even do something like with a shooting star in the background. You can get as specific as you like, and it will go ahead and use AI to try to generate as much of that as possible. And as soon as you click OK, then there you go. We have some designs already generated. As you can see, there's a shooting star. There's Earth in the background. So it gives you some variations of it. You can choose the aspect ratio. Of course, you can go ahead and change it to landscape images. And I'll go ahead and rerun that again. Of course, this looks like art generated. It doesn't look realistic, but if you do click photo, it will try to make it more realistic so it seems real. Let's see what that gives us. Ooh, okay. As you can see, it's not perfect. Some of them look really freaky, but it could be cool if that's what you're looking for. Let's type something more realistic. Maybe we want to actually create an ad for a makeup company to advertise a new lip gloss. So we can type something like a lady using lip gloss with a brand box right next to it. So there you go. As you can see, you can take this one over here. This is all generated with AI, and you can put even your own logo or something using Photoshop or some other tool onto that and use that really as your advertisement. It's super cool. Now, of course, you have a few different styles. You can go ahead and play around with these and see what those give you. So you can really affect the texture there. Change the color and the tone. If you want more of a cooler tone, let's say. And different types of lighting. and certain compositions, you can get very specific. And of course, I know not all of them look perfect, but I think it's getting there. Let's run that one more time and see with all these filters that I've added, what will it give us? Oh wow, okay. Some more cooler, some studio lighting in there, wider angle. This could definitely be something. You can try the same thing with graphic. Now it's more of like an illustration type of design. So go ahead and play around with that. I'm curious what you guys come up with. If you have any interesting phrases that you've used to generate some cool images, feel free to drop them in the chat or the comment section below, and I'd love to see what you come up with. Now let's go back and explore Generative Fill. I think this is going to be an interesting one. So if you hover over some of these examples, people have used brushes to come up with different objects, or go ahead and cut a certain object and place it in different places. So for example, this lighthouse over here, they've gone ahead and cut it and pasted it in a different environment using this tool. So you can do a lot with it. As you can see, you can change your outfit, you can change your location, you can add to it, you can remove stuff. It's really freaky. Let's go ahead and upload an image and see how this works. Alright, I've gone ahead and added this image of a lion just laying down here on some field grass, and I'm going to go ahead and now try to add something. Let's see what we can do here. Maybe we can highlight this area over here and add a deer looking from the distance. There we go. Let's see what it will generate. Oh wow. Interesting. Now this image is a little bit tricky because the focus is of course not the same, so it gives you a few different options where you can go ahead and play around with that. This one's pretty cool. It has the same blur as the image, so that looks pretty realistic. Interesting. And we can go ahead and decide to keep that or cancel that one. So let's go ahead and keep this one. So that's how you add objects into your generative fill. Now, if you want to go ahead and, I don't know, let's say put a crown on this lion, we can again go into the add one. Maybe draw around the lion's sort of head over here and write something like crown on top of lion's head. Wow. That's pretty cool. Now you can go ahead and keep generating. So if you're not happy with any of those, you can go ahead and generate more until you get exactly what you want. I think this one looks pretty cool. Let's go ahead and keep that. And now if you want to remove stuff, you can simply go ahead and click remove. So let's go ahead and remove this lion's leg from the image and see how that works. So make sure you're in the add mode here. Go ahead and draw around that area. Click remove, and bam, it's as if his leg was never there. This is crazy. And you can go ahead and tweak this to play around with it again, see different versions that it come up with, but this is, I think, pretty cool. You can go ahead and keep it. Now what if we want to change the background? We can remove the background, so that's pretty cool. Or if we clear, we can go back and let's insert a background. Let's change the background to Antarctica. Go ahead and generate that and see what it comes up with. Very interesting. Wow. And you can try different ones, of course, until you're happy. This one looks pretty cool. And keep it. This is what we started with. This is the original image, and this is what we got after some simple prompts. That's crazy. Now we can go ahead and download that image from here. Now you will get a watermark in the corner of the images once you do download them. So it will look something like this with the Adobe Firefly watermark here, which of course this tool is still not at the level to be able to be used for commercial use, so that's why they put that there. Let's go back to the last but not least tool over here, the text effects. This one, I find it pretty crazy. You can generate text using different textures. So for example, this E over here, realistic tiger fur, is what they've used to generate this E. Or this one here, pink gold balloon. You can be as specific as you'd like, and it'll go ahead and generate your words using a certain fill. So first you got to enter a text. So let's do something like, let's say you're a realtor and you want to advertise your services and or your company, you can write ABC Realty. And for the text effects, why don't we just do something like simple like a house and see what that does. And take a look at that. It generated this text using a home design, and you can go ahead and test different ones. Let's say you're working with a fast food company, and you want them to have the letters look like a burger. So it could be cheeseburger with cheese dripping from letters. Let's see what that will give us. I'm getting hungry just writing that out. Wow. That's pretty cool. In the past, you'd have to pay a designer or graphic designer at least hundreds of dollars to generate something like this. And you can go ahead and change your text effects. You can choose different fonts, and there's more available. And you can go ahead and even set a background color. And keep in mind, you can change this to anything. Let's do penguin here and see what that comes up with. And wow, take a look at that. And you can go ahead and download it and use it as you like. Very cool. I think this is an awesome tool by Adobe, and it's still the beginning, and they're still adding more to it, as you can see. I'm curious what you come up with here. So if you use this tool and you enjoyed it and you've created something cool with it, please do share. I'd love to hear what you come up with. Alright, thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, so I can keep bringing more videos to you. I'll see you in the next one.